Welcome to Bourbon Street Bookers presents Yappin with Yanna. I am your host, Yanna, and as you can see behind me, we are welcoming author Tanzania Glover. Did I pronounce your name correctly?
Hi, yeah,
Okay. And
yeah.
you know me, that's my disclaimer. I will pronounce names
So
wrong, but
everybody,
I usually go with
um,
the flow. I love
uh,
Tanzania.
I've been getting that since birth. No, because it actually used to be pronounced Tanzania.
Really?
Yeah, so they changed it in like '96. I'm
And how
like,
do
well,
you pronounce it?
Tanzania.
Okay.
We just thought it was pronounced Tanzania, but no, because okay, so for people who don't know, it's a country in Africa. And
Ah,
some people called it Tanzania, but it was really Tanzania. But in '96, they officially changed how it's pronounced. Like, that's my impact because
hey.
y'all were not, But yeah, so it's all Tanzania.
How about that?
Yes.
So
Just like a little random fact about
I had to have this queen on with me. She has been a gem in this literary community. She has provided some of the most outstanding books. One of is her most recent release that's behind me, Shut Up and Dance. And oh my God, one of the things that really connected with me, I'm a thick girl.
me.
So Tan writes about very thick women. And what she does is identify the beauty and an acceptance of being a thick woman. You're not the typical model size woman, but there is beauty and
Mhm.
just accepting yourself where you are. So my first encounter with Tan was Cinderella, which is her version of called Thickerella. And baby, let me tell you, I ended up reading this book during a hurricane that was, believe it or not, a hurricane,
It
a
was in
category 3,
2020.
yes, was taking place. And we were going through it. I knew the lights were gonna go out, but I had my Kindle all charged up and
What's
everything.
up?
I was ready. So everybody else was complaining about not being able to watch TV. I had my plans already.
I already got you
And
covered.
I literally thought, I was just gonna read that one book, but who would have known? There was a whole series, y'all. There
Yes.
was a whole series.
And we still got one more. I'm dragging my feet on it,
Yes, Prince
but I got one more.
Charming.
Yes.
So just to share with you guys, Tan has an outstanding catalog. And when I say outstanding, I mean every bit of that. Um, this newest release is would you consider it a novella or a
I
novelette?
consider most of them novellas. It gets a little fuzzy with all under 40 and 25. They're shorts. They're shorts.
And she packs it as short as it may
That's always
appear.
the goal. Like,
It's
you don't
packed.
read it in a few hours, but you're going to get some out of it.
What's your inspiration to your writing?
Oh my God, do not get me started. I'll be here all day. I no, okay. So my friends will tell you it's them. My family will tell you it's them. Because everybody sees bits and pieces of themselves. I pull from so many sources. But like the usual music, it's a very big one. Just my own experiences, because the one that I'm working on now is my first throwback piece. So it
Okay.
is set in 2009. I've never written backwards before. I'm excited about that. It's a little college experience kind of thing. But this is the first time I'm directly pulling from my experience.
Mm-hmm.
But usually I run everybody else's business and put it in a book. And when they read it, they're like, girl, why would you? Because we're not about to just let this experience sit on the shelf nowhere. This needs to be told. And
I
you first
love
let me
it.
know this. So
And to
yeah.
say that you're writing novellas, like I said, you're packing this I mean, there is a beginning, there's a very solid middle, and there's an end, and there's even background for many of the characters. So there's a lot of substance in there. Like I said, Thickerella had me because, baby girl, listen, I don't
Right.
know if you guys are familiar with that book, and just to let you know, Tiller, again, and I'm not pronouncing her name
Oh no,
correctly,
that's how Tiller.
she met her Prince Charming. And after experiencing all kinds of trash,
Like family dynamics, relationships issues.
right? Even
Yeah.
her mom and brother was garbage. But she encountered Cameron, and oh my, I'm not gonna go too far into the story, you guys, but
But
let
he
me
was
tell
for
you,
charming in every way.
he
Patient,
was,
kind, everything that love is.
yes, he truly was. And
Yes.
then this was after he experienced a loss himself.
Yes. Yes.
So it was truly so beautiful to see him give love another chance.
That's one thing that I always try to do. Because in a lot of books, we traumatize women so much and they have
Girl.
to go through the ringer. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna traumatize both of them and see how that works out. Because a lot of times men hide their trauma and
Yeah.
don't address it. So I play around with that in my books too. Like I bring it to the surface and I make them confront it.
And
So
you
that's
did.
part of my writing.
I think I found a lot of your humor in
Oh,
in
silly
in
person alive.
in Nicole's book.
I, ma'am, I don't take anything seriously. I no, I have to laugh. That's one thing I say because my mom, she actually passed away from COVID at
Mm,
the time that we had it. But that lady had a sense of humor out of this world,
my
and she
sincerest
gave
condolences.
thank you. She gave me that though. So when I tell you I'm learning to walk again, cracking jokes, like I just have to thank God for still being here. And for I'm like, for what purpose? I'm like, now you know you could have kept her and took me. That lady was a saint. I'm like, I am not, but for whatever reason, I'm like, you must have really wanted me to write some more books
Mm,
because I'm still here.
praise God.
Yeah.
Praise
But yeah,
God.
you are not gonna find anybody sillier than me.
I
That's just
tell
something that
people all the time. I was just saying this the other day. You know, life happens. And for me, I find the most gratitude in laughter, you know, the
yes,
most comfort. And when I say gratitude, I'm specifically referring to just being grateful that I can laugh in the
yes,
moment of a storm, of a serious situation, of hardships, you know. And I was just telling somebody, I was like, yeah, romance is nice and funny. It can be all of that good stuff, but good, genuine humor and
yes.
comedy, it goes so far for me. I
Yeah,
prefer it.
I always because I cover pretty heavy topics, but I try to present them in a way where you can still find the humor in them, where you can crack a joke about it. You can like still laugh at it because I do that in real life. I think Black people in general
Me too. We can't take
use
nothing.
humor, and like I think it started as a coping like thing,
Yeah,
but now that's just in our DNA.
it really
Like
is.
that's just in our DNA. And but specifically because I have a really serious dad. Don't smile too much. Don't ever. My mother, on the other hand, will have you crack out for days. Oh my God. So yeah, I'm like, I'm glad I got that from her.
Yeah,
And
that's a
these books, and
that
these
is a beautiful
books,
characteristic, because your books carry your
it's a must.
personality. Your books carry your
Thank
personality.
you. I try so hard to put it because you can't just be talking about all this heartbreak and this and that without
Right.
throwing in a few. Like, come on, like you know when you're with your friends, y'all gonna laugh at something. Something like you will be in the middle of a breakdown and your pants split or something. Something embarrassing, just and it's just gonna bring it full circle. Girl, when I say I'm still very emotional. I still cry with my mom all the time.
Of course.
But I will be mid cry. I'm knowing she like, girl, if you don't wipe your face and quit trying to use me as an excuse to stop writing, get back to life. That's exactly what she was saying. So I'm like, yep, you're right, me. Wipe these tears, but I don't suppress it.
Right.
I feel it, find something funny, and get back to it. Yep.
And releasing is good. It is good.
Yep.
Um, you have written quite a few stories, a lot. One of her series is the 90s, which
Oh,
and that was a collaboration, correct?
that was a collaboration with Tia Love, Sam Strahan, Risha Jones, and Black Cherry. When I say those women know what they're doing, that was a fun bunch to work with. It was stressful. We were all trying to like get it in, and we're all so wordy. So we're like, we're gonna cap it off at 10K. Don't go over 10K. Girl, everybody went over 10K. It was so funny. But because you could not contain those characters, those are some great shorts. And we're all like, oh, I wish I would have did this. People love those books, and
Yeah.
they're having like a resurgence right now. And people ask me like every day, like, oh, I wish these were on audio. I wish these were right back. Like, y'all, can we get these out there? Because people ask me every day, when are we gonna get this? Can we get this? And I'm
It's the
like,
music for me, the connection to the 90s. And
the soundtracks for those.
yes, yes, the playlist was
Yes,
awesome. The
I keep
playlist
the
was
soundtracks.
definitely awesome.
These are not movies, staying the soundtracks, the playlist for them. But yeah, but those songs, those books, those are so special to me. That was my first collaboration, and I still talk to those ladies as often as I can because they are some really good writers. I respect them so much. I was going to buy some books the other day to fill up the shelf, and
Mhm.
I was contacted. I'm like, when are y'all gonna get some paperbacks? Because I need y'all on my show. Those qualities specifically are so talented. I love everybody, but like when I read, I reached out to them personally. Like, do you want to do this with me? Because I know you're gonna bring out something good, and I was not wrong. So I love
It-
seeing people fall in love with those again.
your series, Faded Fairy Tales books, that
Yes.
series, it what I'm, just thinking right now, it's like this Disney movie that's coming out with the Little Mermaid, right? And that's exactly what came to mind. Your books, your series came to mind, thinking about how they're now using the Black character. I was like,
Yeah.
baby, man had already did this.
Uh, they need to leave that girl alone. I've been seeing that backlash. I'm just like,
But the beauty in it is, again, how, okay, we're also identifying, like I said, how the important of representation for our children is, right?
mm,
So what Tan does, guys, she took Cinderella and made it Thickerella.
mm,
And you should see the covers, guys. And when I say beautiful, oh my God, beautiful.
cute.
And hopefully I can get a little editing going in here and drop some book covers. But if I don't, we're going to work on that. There's
Okay.
also Sleeping Cutie. Again, a beautiful Black woman, just kind of draped there, doing her sleeping thing. And then we have
Chapanzo.
yeah, I was gonna
I
mispronounce
know.
it.
Chapanzo. That's my badass. I love
Say
that
it
guy.
again.
Chapanzo.
So it's like Rapunzel,
Yeah. But
then it's
but
a
trap.
Trapunzel. And again, she has the beautiful long black hair. Oh my God, you guys. What I love about Tan's book covers, and she and I were just talking right before the interview, she has artists to draw them. Tell us about these artists and how you come to select them for.
When I say I'm on like Instagram all the time, randomly just finding so many just talented Black artists that are just still working regular jobs. So I'm like, you need to be working at some company somewhere, so talented people, and I run across people who are like willing to work for less than like their fees, whatever, just to get to work out there. And I never compromise. I'm like, no, I'm save up. I'm gonna pay you what you're worth. I definitely believe in that. But I find talented artists every day, and I'm just like, okay, well, I want to work with them for this book. I want to work with them for this book. So I have to wait around for their commissions to be open. So I have to wait around for very books. But I talented black women and pay them what they're worth and try to give us both some exposure with these books. Because when we see a lot of these book covers on the shelves in these stores, a lot of that art is not by us. So I'm trying to put forth my own work and somebody else's. And so far, I think that's a big part of why I've seen some of the success that I have. Because whether you like cartoon covers or not, you're going to look twice when you see these covers. So yeah, I will never stop putting black art on them.
I absolutely love them. It draws the attention. When I saw this one, I
Oh
was
yeah,
like, oh my. And like I said, listen, thick women, that's sexy to me. That's sexy to me. So when I see, and listen, y'all, make no mistake, even though this was a novella, when I tell you sexy, there's a Tempest who's a dancer. And we see it all the time on Instagram where these thick girls are dancing and they can keep up with everybody, could probably surpass those thin girls so they ain't got no rhythm. But this sister here, I'm telling y'all, she brought it on.
yeah, circles
And
around the boy.
yeah, then your boy, it's like what he was accustomed to was, what everybody was used to him
Yeah,
seeing him with is a small girl. And so of
yeah.
course they're like, oh, that ain't his type shit.
And that's why no, and that's why I wanted to make like a book with a plus woman because I'm trying to just cover like the whole spectrum. I want every type of black woman to have a book. For me,
As they
I want
should.
I want everybody to feel represented. So for this type of plus book, I wanted like her weight to not be a factor with their relationship, and it wasn't.
It was
Everybody else
not.
had a problem with it,
Everybody
but
else.
it never came up between them. Like I'm
Theo
like,
was like, he was gone. I mean, this
they
man
were
literally, but
on
first
the
off, it was, now he's a up, this coming artist, right? And the way that he ends up being fortunate enough to come into the limelight is through her.
yeah.
So when you recognize somebody that's appreciating your art and your talent,
Mm-hmm.
that is an instant connection within itself, because there's a
Yeah.
lot of like chemistry in a sense, but more so that appreciation
Yeah.
that, hey, I can see beyond the surface. So
Mm-hmm.
there's something. But listen, this brother here had to let the world know, oh,
Yeah.
I wanna.
Yes, he did. He
I,
said, yeah, I want her, and he got her,
yes,
and
he
and
did.
he put in the work. I will never drag these characters through the mud just to find love. Like
Right.
that whole roller coaster. I did that with my first series. It was a little bit too much. Now I'm like, oh no, let's get to the love. That was more drama. Now I'm really into like the love aspect. Black women getting their love without all the extra stuff.
I know that's right. I wish that was the real world.
Just a
Lord, I
quiet
wish it was the
work.
real world.
Yes.
And then we had laundry days. We had wide open. Tan has an amazing catalog of books. And when I tell you, there's no shortage of the romance of finding the
And
beauty.
you know what's so funny? My best friend in the world It's like, why can't you just write a one night stand book? Why do everybody gotta fall in love? Why can't they just? And every time I try, when I say I was trying to with this book that I'm writing now, I'm like, girl, I found a loophole they're gonna be together forever. And she was like, you know what? Whatever, whatever. But I'm like, cause that's not what I do. I love so much. Like I love. So you're not gonna catch me half stepping. They are going to be a lucky. You're gonna get a happy ending with me every time because it's just so comforting to know, like, because we always get a little scared. Oh, they're gonna break up. Oh, they're gonna happen. But no, they go spin a block and they're gonna come back and be right together.
How long have you been in the writing game?
Officially 2018 was when I first self-published.
Okay.
But
That's kind of like when I jumped back into reading as a passion, because I used to
okay.
read, you know, earlier years on, but it was 2018 in October, as a matter of fact. I was getting my hair done and got introduced to Ashley Antoinette at the
Okay.
time. A
Well,
Marta Flame. The book
sis
happened
has
in
she
Walmart.
has an she has an army.
Oh, Ash
She
does
has an
have an
army.
army.
She has an army.
And
I'm so
just
in awe of her.
reading her book brought me online, and I found you. I found everybody else,
Yep.
and it grew into
Right.
this. You talk about love. This is love. This is a
Yes.
relationship here.
When I say I used to love these black books, I actually bought a lot recently. Like the old school black books, like the Zane, Terry McMillan, Air Drum,
Oh,
Nikki
girl.
books. Read all of those, right? And for a while, I felt like we weren't getting like the classics no more. And that's when I stopped reading. But when I got back in, I'm not reading traditionally published books no more. Like I stick with the indie girls
The indie
because
authors are
the
it.
indie
Y'all hear
girls,
that?
the indie girls have me covered. They give me that old school feeling, but it's
Absolutely.
contemporary.
Who's your favorite author?
My favorite of all time
Well,
is
indie author, current
okay.
author.
Of all time, it's still Terry McMillan, just because I'm
Ah.
a, I'm gonna change the game. There
Mm,
will never be another black book for black women that did what Waiting to Exhale did. As a
yes,
book,
indeed.
forget the
Waiting to
movie.
exhale.
For-
Yes,
Forget the movie, which was iconic, of course.
of
The book
course.
that changed lives. So I gotta give Terry all her flowers.
Yes.
Um, my favorite indie, I can't say my favorite indie because
There's
it's
so
so
many.
many. It's so many. Oh my god! And every time I do like an interview, I'm I just found another one. Um,
What
I
was the
will
last book
say,
you read?
huh?
What was the last book you read?
What was the last book I read? I read Rio by Kennedy Ryan.
Oh my God. That
Okay, first of all, that cover.
listen,
That I'm a cover whore. So if you got a good cover, I'm gonna read your book.
the Audible. Mm,
I'm
mm,
just
mm.
getting into Audible, and I can't read a book for the first time in Audible. I have to read it
There
and
is
then go back to the Audible.
singing.
Is it
There's
really good?
there's singing. There is singing in the Audible. Oh my God, it is beautiful. You
Don't
have
tell me
got
that
to.
because I
Oh
got
my
two
God.
credits right now. I got two credits, and I was saving them.
It's worth the credits. I
I'm gonna
was
go buy
blown
it.
away. That was my introduction to her work. I do intend to read more of her books, but the real one, I read that was that my first Audible? I don't believe it was my first Audible, but it was my introduction to her work.
Okay.
And
Oh, you're not a fan.
yes,
She of course, Christine, author bestie, Tia Love. Um, I'm really into Shay Sanders and Rosie Adams right now. Kima B, oh, Jay, Sheree, like I will be here all day. Like I'm so glad because I thought these books were not being written at all anymore. So I'm telling you how arrogant I was. I'm like, I'm changing the game. I'm about to bring it back. And I got in this community like, girl, it's already here. They never left. These girls have been here writing these books, but they're not mainstream. So you gotta know somebody who knows somebody who knows. Like, okay, read this book, and you're like, why is this not everywhere? Why is this not like a movie? Why is this not a TV show? There
Mhm.
is so much content. These indie girls are so talented.
They really are. And that's
So
what
talented.
Bourbon Street Bookers really is about.
And
And
that's why we appreciate platforms like yours
listen,
because we do it because we love it, but we want a little recognition too. And we don't get it from the traditional places. And at this point, I'm okay with that because the girls who love it and who it's for love it too. So I am
absolutely.
so good with that. And I appreciate platforms like yours for that because y'all give us our flowers every month in these newsletters, these events, and make us make us feel so good. I was just telling my auntie like, oh yeah, I have an author interview tonight. She's like, "Ooh."
And
I'm
so
like,
you'll be in our newsletter.
oh my god. Okay. Now I'm
The,
excited.
the
Cause I'm like,
link
I
to this interview
haven't
will
been
be
in
in our
there
newsletter.
because I read my newsletter. I haven't been in there in a while. So I cannot wait to finally be back in there. Because I took a year off unintentionally.
Of course.
But I took a year off. So I'm like, I'm back in the newsletter. I'm good.
So what should we expect from you next?
Girl, let me stop making promises because my fans be like, girl, you taught us charming last year. So is this that? I'm like, girl, I didn't know I was gonna get writer's block and be in a coma. I had to learn how to write. I mean, walk again. My life is all over the place.
Look, life been
Um,
life, and huh?
it's been life.
Yes.
But no, I'm still here, still writing. My plans, I just told them last week, my plans are to finally put out Waiting on Wendy. Um, I have another book that's completed. It's about a stylist, but I want two sequels to that book. So I have to decide, am I going to leave it a standalone? Because I really hate having readers wait for those part twos and threes and whatnot. I'm like, okay, like if I put it out, it's just going to be one book. It's not going to be more. Um, I definitely have a Thanksgiving novella this year. I'm trying to do all the like holidays because I only have Valentine's Day so far. I've had the cutest Mardi Gras short idea for years, and I'm about to say it because y'all don't steal it. It's Mardi Gracias. So she's with like this Afro Latino dude in New Orleans.
Of
But I'm like,
course.
I need to visit first. I have so many friends in New Orleans. And I'm just like, and I still haven't like went yet. So I'm like, I really need to see the city before I just write about it. Because that's one of those cities you can't fake it. You need to be in New Orleans, like, and experience it to write about
Let me tell you,
it. The only
no kidding. What you're saying has some accuracy, but I experienced an author whom you could not have told me she did not make it to New Orleans, which was
Are you talking about Millie?
Millie. I
Wait, let
could
me
not
stop you.
believe
Let me
my
stop you.
Millie.
Let me stop you. My one of my good friends from New Orleans, I made her read Garden of Eden, right? Which I love. You can't tell me nothing about Millie. And I'm mad. And I forgot to bring her up. Millie gets a shout out almost daily. I recommend that book, Fast and Garden of Eden, so
Oh,
much.
girl, yes.
She's from New Orleans, and she's like, she got this date wrong about when the levees broke. She got this, whatever. I'm like, girl, you nitpicking. You nitpicking. She was like, bitch, I show him because that was the best book I've read. And whatever. Like, you just gotta be like a little bit of a hater. She's not from here. She was like, no, now you're fucking right. I'm like, exactly. So she has me scared to write about New Orleans without going there. But I'm like, girl, I don't care what Millie did. Millie is that girl.
She
Millie will forever be
definitely
that girl
is.
for fast alone. And then I read Garden of Eden. Yes.
Yes, yes, and yes. Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. So, what do you want the audience to know about, how to reach your work, what you have coming they can look
That's a
forward
really
to?
different question. Um, you can find me at my website, tanzaniaglover.com. Ain't nothing on there really, but some book covers. But you can find me on social media. Just put in Tanzania Glover, but it's Tan said what on pretty much everything.
Right.
Um, I'm just gonna be on there being silly. So if you don't like that, don't follow me. I don't take nothing seriously. Um, but I just talk about books, memes, and these characters.
Awesome. Awesome. I, again, have truly enjoyed your work. I do appreciate the effort and energy and the uniqueness that you continue to bring
Thank
in
you.
your writing
I'm
style.
always worried that it's gimmicky.
No,
Cause I love a good gimmick.
I
I
don't find
love
it
a good.
gimmicky. I find it
Oh, I'm gonna keep doing it, but I be thinking that it's gimmicky.
yeah, no. I find it to be, like I said, I find it to be more like representation. The uniqueness. I would have never thought, I know me, I would have never thought to write Thickerella, right? And then, like I said, the beauty in your covers. Do you find inspiration? Do you write your books before you come up with your cover? Is that how that goes?
I usually start with an idea, and I have a lot of notes. But usually, I put the cart before the horse.
Okay.
So I'm contacting an artist like I have an idea, or I'll see like something of theirs. Like I want something like this. Can you do me something like this? So a lot of the time, the cover is done before the book is written, and I'll put something from the cover into the book. So like with Nicorella, I had no idea she was gonna have that long split in her dress. But baby, after seeing that cover, oh,
Mm,
she had a long split and it was a part of the book.
rocked it. You hear
Yes.
me? Rocked it.
Yes.
Rocked
Yes.
it. Well,
So yeah.
again, I want to say thank you so much. I truly appreciate you joining me today and saying yes when I asked.
Oh my God, yes. Hell yes. I was like, okay. And I was like telling you, like, girl, my hair is a mess. I gotta do with my hair. Like, it was just Saturday. Of course, still ain't happened. I was supposed to get some braids, didn't happen. But I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna show up for you.
Oh,
I'm gonna
that
show
makes
up.
me feel loved.
Yes.
Well, be sure to follow Tan. She is on all social media platforms. Are you on
All of
Twitter
them.
too?
I'm on all of them.
You're on Twitter? And listen, it's always a good time with her. It is always a good time. You will find her and her fans chatting about her books, where she's bringing this heat, she's bringing this sexiness, she's bringing this awareness to how beautiful you are, no matter what you
No
look
matter
like.
what,
Yes.
right? And what was I gonna say? Because I'm getting like a reputation for only writing plus size books, which I'm not upset about because I'm obviously plus size. But
So am I.
I do have a spectrum of representation for my books. I have the thin girls who are fine being thin, the ones who want to be thicker. I have the thicker girls who want to be thinner. I have the girls who are fine at whatever size they're at. I have, of course, skin tone. I have diversity and just mindset. So don't just think that I'm one kind of author because I give you a little bit of everything. There's something for everybody in my books, and I'm so proud of that. Okay.
And we are proud of you. We thank you so much. And we will definitely continue to follow you in your work. As I stated to you before, I thank you for joining us. And thank you guys for viewing us and taking the time and leaving a review. Hit like, share, and
I need to
comment
do
below.
this.
We'll make sure we include Tan's access to her catalog.
Okay.
Any
Thank you.
final
This was so
words?
much fun. No, this was fun. That's it. I've talked enough.
Thank you guys again. Stay with us, Tan.
Okay. Bye bye.